Hey everybody, it's Shark here. Today I'm going to be starting a brand new Let's Play of a game that's near and dear to my heart. My favorite PS4 game, and overall one of my favorite just games of all time. That is Bloodborne. I started the Ghost of Tsushima Let's Play, and it didn't go very well because I was more focused on learning the game for the first time, which is it's hard to do commentary and do a brand new game all at once. And I think for the sake of practicing for future Let's Plays, I'm gonna just do a game or a couple games rather that I'm comfortable with, and then go from there for new releases. But yeah, Bloodborne is a game I've played through many times. I've you know the PvP, the overall story of the game. I was had a lot of fun with the PvP of the game during its heyday as well. But I'll be doing a brand new game from Square One, so new game. And I'm going to be running a Blood Tinge build because it is my favorite build in the whole entire game. I'm an Evelyn Chikage abuser, but let's honestly get this thing started. I'm going to start the game up and then go through the opening cutscene.
Oh, yeah. Well, you've come to the right place. Yharnam is the home of blood administration. You need only unravel its mystery. But there's an outsider like yourself to begin. Easy, with a bit of Yharnam blood of your own. But first, you need a contract.
All right, so got the opening cutscene. So we're in the character creation screen. I think Bloodborne is the best character creator overall that FromSoft put out. I think it's even better than the Dark Souls 3, the game that came after it. I just think the customization options are pretty wide and varied, which is really cool. I think overall the character just kind of looks the best, even though a lot of people would just argue like, oh, you're gonna be under a hat or a helmet or whatever for most of the game. Like that's fine, but always like the aesthetic and be able to kind of build a character to what you want. So I have a favorite that I use for most of them. So I'm just gonna go with that. And then for origin, we are gonna go noble scion, just because we get the most blood tinge right away. I mean, disadvantages here are low vitality, low endurance, but I say this now, but I don't think it's gonna be a problem for me personally, just because just an overall veteran of this game. Also, the strength and skill, it's 1 point off each for being able to use the Chikage, which is ultimately what we're gonna be using for our main weapon. So Noble Scion name. Just gonna go with the the old channel name. All right, and yeah, I think we set. So yeah, for the first episode, I don't know where the stopping point will be. I mean, I think I'm gonna try and go about 25 minutes per episode, with intentionally trying to get to major objectives or possibly right before bosses. So I think first probably 2 episodes, it's strictly going to be just exploration around this main area of Yharnam, first opening area.
Someone sealed her. Now, let's begin the transfusion. Oh, don't you worry. Whatever happens, you may think it all a real bad dream.
Alright. Now we're ready to get the journey going. Yep, so, quickly just peek around the room. Let's see here. So behind us here, we have Yosefka. We are going to go back to this area pretty soon, because we're going to pick up something that's important for getting our main weapon in the game here. But yeah, just basically right away, just open this door. Just gonna move on. So yeah, Bloodborne's a game that's just really near and dear to my heart. It has, I would say, my favorite combat system of any game ever. It's just very smooth, very quick, rapid, and also just the overall gunplay and gun pairing system. I really like it. It's just so. All right, this opening area, we have this werewolf here. You're supposed to be able to backstab him, but like I can never do it. Like I'll show you now. We're gonna slow walk, pretty much as slow as I can here. Yep, he's gonna turn around. So I'm just gonna ignore him for now. Ooh. Ah, shit. Oh. If we die, it's okay. It's not a big deal. But he's at low health, so I'm just gonna kind of dodge past him here. Oh, whatever. Where's the thing? Oh, shit. Yeah, okay, a little bit lost over the area, but we're gonna go back to the hunter's dream here. We're gonna get ourselves a weapon, and we'll be able to come back and clap him. But yeah, last time I played this game was probably about like a year ago, so yeah, I just really want to get back into it. But once we get the actual weapon, I'll show you how good this game's combat system really is. Alright, so we're in the Hunter's Dream, which is the central hub of the game. It's basically identical to the Nexus in Demon Souls. Pretty much works the exact same way. You have your tombstones that are linked to each kind of individual world with its individual areas within the game. Also, later on, you'll be able to do chalice dungeons to get better items to kind of upgrade your gear and upgrade the damage output and other utilities that they can do. We also have the shop here, which sells the utility kind of weapons, the utility items, and like other kind of weaponry in the game. So you got like your blood vials, which is your healing, quicksilver bullets, which are the bullets within your gun to do damage from guns and gun parries. Unlike the mainline Souls games, with the exception of Dark Souls 2, healing is picked up. It doesn't just replenish on its own like it would when you die with like Estus flasks or anything like that. So you're going to be picking up blood vials throughout the world. You can buy them. Yeah, so there'll be occasions where you may run out of both and you just need to run around an area, fight enemies that typically drop them, and then just get more. Pretty relatively common occurrence in Bloodborne, especially if there's like a boss or especially area that you're just struggling with. So it's not totally uncommon that you need to do that. Do I like it? I mean, I don't know. It's like, it's not a lot of fun grinding for stuff, but I mean, most enemies drop it pretty frequently, and it's frequently enough that it really isn't an issue. I mean, like 10-15 minutes you can quickly get like probably like 40 to 60 blood vials and or silver bullets, so it's it's not too bad. So weapons here. So basically, for most people just starting out, I would recommend the saw cleaver just because it does deal additional damage to beasts, which I think is good, for the early game, because basically you're fighting beasts most of the time, or at least most of the like tough enemies or like boss enemies in the early parts of the game are beast type enemies. So it's very useful in the early game. Threaded Cane was the weapon that I used in my first playthrough. It's a fun weapon, but I would say it's probably the hardest one to use for the early game. It is the skill weapon of the starting core of weapons. So if you want to do a skill build, it's good for that. But Hunter's axe is good and it's fun to use. It's an axe and a halberd, so you have your quick attacks as well as your range, which is good and versatile. It's a good strength weapon as well. I think in terms of where things scale and everything, I would say like the Hunter's axe is the best bang for your buck once you get towards like the late game, and if you go like a strength build. But for the early game, we're going saw cleaver. Plus, I mean, I'm gonna be using a Chikage anyway. So, and for firearm, differences here are Hunter's pistol shoots one bullet and is faster. Hunter blunderbuss is like a shotgun, so it fires a little bit slower, but it's a little bit more forgiving for parries overall. I'm just more of a fan of the Hunter's pistol just because of the speed. I just prefer it over the spread. Also, it does more damage, so I've always gone with the Hunter's pistol, and I always have. Then I think this is just a notebook, okay, which is for like online matchmaking and stuff like that. So let's pull out our weapons here. Got saw cleaver and Hunter's pistol. So in Bloodborne, you have a main hand weapon and an offhand weapon. So like the main hand weapons are your trick weapons. They have two forms, or pretty much all of them have two forms. So as you can see here, pressing L1, it goes from just like short range quick attack weapon to a like more of a long range kind of like halberd-esque thing. But yeah, just press L1, you change the trick. One thing you can do is you can do R1, L1 to trick, and L1 back. That's a good combo with the saw cleaver, and you can do that with other weapons. But yeah, that's one thing I really like about it. A lot of people I talked to that played Bloodborne didn't like, I guess, I'm using air quotes here, the lack of weapon variety, but I would say they just kind of made like the axe one weapon, or like a halberd one weapon, and then a katana. They only made two katanas eventually, but the katana one weapon, right? You have like a short sword, a long sword, then it becomes a great sword and a hammer. I think I just liked it overall because you get two weapons in one, so there's a lot of versatility with the weapons themselves. And my argument is always like, especially like Dark Souls 2 was very guilty of this. Half the time it was like it's just a halberd with the same moveset with just different scaling, and that was basically it. Like, one halberd scaled more towards quality builds, or one halberd scaled more towards like, strength and possibly dex, and they had the same movesets, and it just wasn't that varied to begin with. So you had like 10 halberds that had the same moveset but just did different damage depending on how you built your character. So I always say like I don't think there's a lack of weapon variety. I just think they just condensed it down to 15 or 16 weapons total. But yeah, we're gonna go back to Yusefka's clinic and beat that werewolf ass, if you feel me. But yeah, so first episode, I think it's gonna run around, get some shortcuts unlocked, talk to some NPCs, just do some stuff like that. I'm gonna try to get everything, all the NPC quest lines in this playthrough, but sometimes like the Bloodborne quest lines with the NPCs can be tricky, and you gotta like do things at the exact correct time, and it's not very forgiving. So Yeah, and then if you notice this orange bar, that's called rally. And if you get hit by an enemy, that bar will show up. And if you hit the enemy back, you'll actually recover health. Oh, okay. That's actually a weird drop. Usually drops blood vials, but he dropped a blood shard there. I think it's pretty uncommon. First time I think it's ever happened to me. But once you see that orange bar, once you get hit, definitely if you're in the position to, always try and hit the enemy back. That way you don't have to use blood vials to heal. You can just heal it back by rallying. Yeah, where was this stupid lever? Or does this just open? Oh. It just opens. Alright, there we go. Alright, yeah, so we're just going to pick up some of the random items that are kind of spread around the map here. There are enemies kind of lying in wait, just lying around, so just kind of be careful of that. I'm going to pull this down to get a ladder. Couple enemies right in front of us as well. So we're gonna kill them. So yeah, if you notice, like, be careful in the opening area because there are enemies that are just lying on the ground, which they just get up. They don't make a ton of noise when they do get up. They do have their little battle screeches that they'll put out to, like, sort of warn you when they're behind you. But yeah, basically in the opening area, just be aware of your surroundings. And that's the scream of the first boss the game here. Well, actually, I shouldn't say first. Most people fight him first. I will fight him first. But Bloodborne does some things with majority of the bosses are actually, well, not majority, but a lot of the bosses are actually completely optional. Alright, yeah, so that's Gilbert. Gilbert is affected by the beast scourge that's going around Yharnam right now. You notice by him coughing. He does give you a few items and other various things throughout the game. So definitely remember to go back to him. I can't remember what the triggers are exactly with him giving you things, but I think he gives you the flamethrower, I believe, after he's either beat the Cleric Beast or Father Gascoigne. So definitely go back to him. Eventually, he will actually succumb to the curse and be a beast, and he'll break out of his house here, out of his cage, and then he'll be just here. And then you fight him, and then you'll get actually a rune for beating him. But that's not for a while. I don't remember what the trigger is there, but I think it's about midway through the game though. All right, yeah. So as you can see here too, enemies will be hiding in like crates, things you can't see. And then you got some shield guys. Yeah, basically just smack them a couple times, and their shield will break. Shields aren't something you can really turtle behind in Bloodborne. They definitely broke that convention. Alright, I'm just gonna get these guys up here. Ooh. I get some more Quicksilver bullets. We got a straggler down here. Yeah, see, did 2 hits, knocks our shield down. Not too bad. Alright, got a blood vial as well. Definitely gonna want to stock up on those. And then if you go down here, we unlock a shortcut. Back here, there's a pretty tough enemy here. I'm not gonna go for him right now. I just don't think it's really worth it at the moment. So we're gonna leave him be. Go down here. Should be a guy around here somewhere. Oh, maybe. Okay, maybe that guy drops down here. Thought there was an enemy here. Yeah, if you see one indicator you can tell if there's actually like an NPC in these buildings is there is a red lantern, as well as there's a light under the floor. You see a light creaking under the floor. This particular house, doesn't have anything but crazy people trying to avoid the hunt or whatever. So these guys can be ignored. But there are a few key NPCs that give you some things down the road that you're going to want to be aware of. This is another one. Yeah, just crazy xenophobes. Just ignore them. Oh, whoa. Whoop. Yep, so Bloodborne is a game, like with the combat system, that does reward generally pretty aggressive play. So definitely try to adopt that play style. It was definitely different than Dark Souls was. Whoa, dude, that was some slow reaction. Where Dark Souls, I'd say in general, favors a bit more reactive play. Rolling and being the one that kind of counters after that happens. Bloodborne, it's a little bit different. I mean, you can still do more, I guess, passive kind of playstyle, but aggression is definitely name of the game, and it's something that's favored. Oh wow, that's gonna be wrong. Yeah, another thing too is there are a lot of enemies that just kind of gang up on you, where you get in scenarios like that. That's not uncommon either. I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima, and I still think healing is the down arrow key, so I definitely break that habit. Healing is triangle, or at least that's what it's mapped to right away. So down here, there are some dogs, which are the bane of everyone's existence in like every RPG ever. You have some gunners as well, which I'm gonna want to take these guys out first. Get them out of the way. There are the dogs. Yeah, I had a friend one time who told me the dogs in Dark Souls aren't that bad, and I was like, okay, yeah, totally, man. Oh, whoa, okay, that's a bit embarrassing. I didn't think that was gonna kill me like that. All right. Yeah, I'll get my souls back, and then probably call it the first episode there. Yeah, I know. I was a veteran too. I was hyping myself up a little bit. That did not work out there too well. All right, come on, pop out, Sally. Let's go. Yeah, we're going bullets, which is cool. Whoa, okay. They're a bit aggressive now. Ugh. Alright, yeah, I gotta get my head in the game here, man. Because I'm kind of getting my cheeks clapped by these freaking scrub kids, dude. So yeah, it's gonna go back up this way. Yo, blood vials though. Alright, you dead. Fuck you. No, I'm not gonna use. Oh, God damn it. Hey, don't barrel stuff me. Hell, no, get out of here with that. Alright, and if you see enemies with purple eyes, that means they actually have your blood echoes or your souls, so. Sometimes there'll be a small pool of blood. Actually, that was one thing that really annoyed me with Bloodborne right away, was it was so hard to tell, like, where you dropped your souls. Just because it'll probably be there eventually, but it was a very just small pool of echoes where, like, you know, Dark Souls, they did a good job of just having, like, a pretty large pool of blood, and there's, like, little green kind of mist effect coming out from under it, which, you know, helped identify where it actually went. But nah, Bloodborne had to be the cool kid when the game first came out. But, I think they ended up fixing it, maybe not, who knows. I can't remember for sure, but alright. I think that's a good place to stop. Kind of went through the first kind of chunk of Yharnam. So, if you're enjoying the first episode of Let's Play, you know, let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, also like. And, you know, if you're looking forward to more, please think about subscribing. I will catch you guys in the next one.